From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Over the weekend, hundreds of thousands of women took to the streets to march in the second annual Women's March, marking the one-year anniversary since Donald J. Trump took office. Numbers in the streets were huge as the dramatic government shutdown, which went late into the night before, had loomed over us. Many of us spent the night before watching the Senate live, hammering out policy details which ended up with them ultimately just shutting down the government. And then we woke up the next morning early to march in the streets. In Chicago, the turnout for the second Women's March had already exceeded last year's numbers by 11:30 a.m. with more than 250,000 people descending on downtown. New York had 200,000. Los Angeles had 600,000. There was marchers all over the place, but those were the three largest protests. And that was where Brief News Brief's team was reporting from. We were out there in the streets, lots of photos. You can see some of them now. Some criticized the march, asking, what exactly has the Women's March accomplished? And are the protesters capable of turning their angst into action? Will Saturday's protests accomplish anything more, or just serve as a self-affirming, feel-good moment for President Trump's opponents? But isn't it enough that citizens are engaged in the democratic process, not just mindlessly liking or commenting on Facebook postings, but waking up and showing up and speaking in their voice? It's very powerful. Men marching with their wives and their daughters. In 2014, the Tea Party movement helped Republicans win the U.S. Senate and win the largest congressional majority in American history. Is there an upcoming blue wave? We'll find out in November. The shutdown is over. After 3 days of contentious negotiations and name-calling, Congress voted to end the government shutdown on Monday. Basically, Democrats agreed to trust the word of Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and then President Trump signed the spending bill Monday night. Lawmakers agreed to fund the government through February 8th if the GOP leadership pinky swore to deal with the Dreamers who Trump threw into limbo last fall when he ended DACA. The plan also reauthorizes the Children's Health Insurance Program for 6 years, CHIP, which was the Republicans' favorite talking point of the Democratic resistance. But what about the children? Like they care about the children. I'm pleased the Democrats in Congress have come to their senses, Trump said in a statement. I vow towards solving the problem of very unfair legal immigration. During bipartisan meetings in Collins' office, senators used a device most commonly found in elementary school classrooms, a talking stick, to avoid unproductive crosstalk. They eventually had to switch to a basketball, according to Senator Joe Manchin III, because it was easier to toss back and forth. Further complicating matters, lawmakers are still unclear about what kind of immigration bill Trump wants to sign. He has offered mixed signals. McConnell said, so what I'm waiting for in terms of making a decision about floor time is, are we dealing with an issue that has a chance to become law? President Trump took action in 2 pending trade disputes Monday, imposing tariffs on imported solar panels and washing machines. The move comes in response to petitions from American manufacturers who complained for years that rising imports were eating into their sales. So I think that this means Trump wants America to buy American-made solar panels and washing machines, which sounds like a great idea, right? But the trade association said that the tariffs could cause 23,000 installers, engineers, and project managers to lose their jobs this year as billions of dollars in government-planned investment evaporates under the Trump administration. Also, up to 1/3 of the 260,000 Americans currently employed in the industry are at risk because of the tariffs over the long term. This profoundly political move will make solar power more expensive for everyday Americans while propping up 2 failing foreign-owned companies. Pennsylvania's Supreme Court struck down the state's 2011 congressional redistricting map, declaring its gerrymandering unconstitutional. The majority of the justices gave the Republican-controlled legislature until February 9th to draw up a new plan for approval by Democratic Governor Tom Wolf, or have the court do it for them. The Pennsylvania court said its ruling was based on state law, on which it said it has the final word, not federal law. 4 of the Pennsylvania high court's 7 justices, the majority, said that the new map must be ready for the state's May 15th primaries, but not for the March 13th special election coming up, which is a shame, but we'll take what we can get, right? Over the weekend, the United Kingdom's Independence Party National Executive Committee unanimously voted no confidence for its current leader, knighted former Army Captain Henry Bolton. If you recall, the United Kingdom Independence Party is the party that shocked the world when it pushed Britain towards its historic decision to leave the European Union back in June of 2016. Along with radio host Nigel Farage, they fashioned themselves the bad boys of Brexit. A founder of the populist movement just penned a column in the Guardian newspaper calling the United Kingdom Independence Party a national joke and said that it should just simply be disbanded. Henry Bolton's girlfriend was denounced last week for a series of racist text messages about Prince Harry's bride-to-be, American actress Meghan Markle. I don't know if you heard about her yet. Bolton, who is married with 2 children, quickly promised to dump his new partner, model, and United Kingdom Independence Party activist Joe Marnie. The UKIP party was built on an anti-Europe, anti-immigrant, anti-establishment platform, and those sentiments are alive and well in Britain. The party may be seen as a joke, but the movement is alive and well.